Hi, East Midvale students. I'm so excited to be back here at school now. Finally, the summer's over, although the summer was fun and it was fun to be home with my family, but it's good to be back. This year, my name is Mrs. Stauffer, in case some of you don't know me. A lot of you do know me because I've been here at East Midvale Elementary for a long time. I've actually been teaching art here for, I think it's about 10 years now. So that is a super long time, I know. But I love teaching art and I love being at East Midvale Elementary. It's a great place to be. So I just wanted to let you know that when you see me this year, I will be wearing a mask, just like all the rest of you. So when you see me, this is what I look like with my mask on. I'm gonna take it off for a minute while I talk to you right now though, because I'm just in my classroom by myself, so I don't need to wear it for a minute. And I just want you to see me and I want to be able to talk to you. So I really love teaching art. And I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I have a family, and in my family I have 3 sons. My 3 sons are all pretty much grown up now. They finished high school. My youngest just finished high school last year. So I'm going to show you a picture of them over here. These are my 3 boys right here. And there's, this is the oldest one. And his name is Josh, and he lives in St. George. And this is the middle son, Adam, and he lives at home with me. And this is my youngest, Luke, and he just moved to St. George to live with his older brother. So they're kind of on their own now, but they sure are great boys, and I really love them. And here's a picture of me with them. Also, we have a dog. This is my dog, and her name is Zoe, and she's super sweet. And I really love her a lot. And I bet some of you guys have pets too. So that's my family. And I was going to tell you the things I like to do. First of all, of course, I love art, and I love to do art, make art, create things. So my hobbies are, of course, I love art because that's what I do, and I'm an art teacher, and I love to teach art, and I love to make art, and I love to create. I love to create all kinds of fun things. Like I like to make jewelry and do arts and crafts and just kind of fun things like that. The other thing I like to do is when I get the chance, I like to go visit interesting places and go on little vacations. And this year, I was really lucky that my family and I got to go to Alaska. And we went in June, and we got to ride the airplane there. So that was lots of fun. And when we got there, we stayed with my brother, and I have a sister that lives up there too. And some of the things we did there was we got to go out on the ocean in a big boat, and we got to go see some glaciers, which are huge chunks of ice, and they were really cool, and there was such pretty colors in them. It was like an artist's world of happiness because there's so many beautiful colors in nature. And so we got to see glaciers, and my sons got to ride in a little airplane over a glacier, and we got to visit with my family and go on hikes and just have a great time. And I saw lots of wild animals there too. Some of the wild animals we saw this year was, I saw a moose, and I saw some sea lions when we were out by the ocean, and I saw some eagles, and the most exciting thing was I saw a bear right in the neighborhood where people live. The bear's just wandering down the street, a black bear. Isn't that fascinating? So it was so fun to go. I just spent lots of time at home and in my yard and with my family this summer, so that was great. So this year in art, things are going to be kind of different. As maybe you've seen from this video right now, my art room looks a lot different than it did last year. If you were here last year, you know that it was like a regular classroom with tables and chairs and places to do art. Well, I can't do that this year because we have to be careful about spreading germs. So instead of you coming to my art room, which my art room still has all my art supplies here, and there's a bunch of computer stuff in here, they're kind of sharing my room with other teachers. This year, I'm going to be going to your room, and this is how I'm going to get there with my art cart. Art on a cart this year. So I'll be bringing the art projects to your classroom, and I'll be teaching you art in your classroom. So it's going to be lots of fun. So it'll be a little bit different, and I'm going to go through some of the things that we're going to be doing with art on a cart this year. Okay, friends, last year and lots of other years, in art, to get your attention, I had the signal. I would say Mona, and you guys would say Lisa, and then you'd be quiet and ready to listen. But since we have masks on and it's hard to see our mouth, we can't really see our mouths and talk that much, I'm going to do a different kind of signal this year. Instead of Mona Lisa, I'm not going to do that one. I got this really cool little metal bowl, and this is called a singing bowl. And this is what I'm going to do when I need your attention. So we'll do that to get your attention. And then when it's cleanup time, we'll probably go around the singing bowl. While it's cleanup time. So while we're doing the singing bowl, that's cleanup time. And then when we stop, that's when you should be done cleaning up. So the great thing about the singing bowl is I'm gonna pick someone who was super well behaved during art. They were on their best behavior. They were working hard. They were being respectful, safe, and responsible. And they can hold the singing bowl during cleanup time. I think that would be pretty cool. We'll have to clean it off with disinfectant when we're done, but that's okay. So I got the singing bowl for the attention this year. We're gonna try that, see how that works. So the rules for the art classroom, and even when I'm in your room, they're probably really similar, almost the same to what you have with your regular teacher. Because at East Midvale Elementary, East Midvale art students are, and I know this is what you all learn in your classroom, safe. Safe is number one. Safe means that we use Kai-Foodie. Kai-Foodie stands for keep your hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. So you're not touching other people, you're not poking people, you're not throwing crayons at people. You keep things to yourself so nobody gets hurt, nobody gets their feelings hurt, nobody gets a bruise or a scratch because you were not being careful. So make sure you keep your hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. Use the materials correctly. That's what I was talking about. You don't poke people with pencils or throw things at people or stab, try to poke people with scissors. That is not safe, and we all know that. Use your walking feet, which you'll probably be in your desk a lot of the time. There might be times when you have to get up for some reason, but if you ever have to move around the classroom, we always walk because that's safe. And the last one is follow directions. Just whatever I've asked you to do, make sure that you follow directions carefully so that everyone is safe. The second, safe. Then we're respectful at East Midvale Elementary. We listen politely to others. When the teacher's talking or another student is making a comment, we are quiet, we pay attention, we're respectful. We don't make fun of people or their art. We always treat them with kindness. Raise your hand if you have something to say or a question. Don't just shout things out because we can't get anything done if people are shouting. Be kind to everyone. That's what I'm talking about. If someone does an art project and you always find something kind to say. Even if you think maybe you're looking at it and you're thinking, that looks really different. And that's really a strange art project they did. But you might say, I really love that blue color you used on that sky that you did. You can always find something positive to say. So really think about it. Only use your kind words. I really want you guys to be kind. Use indoor voices, so no yelling or shouting in the classroom. I'm sure that your teachers already talked to you about that in your own classroom. And then last one is to be responsible. Try your best. Doesn't matter in art. The best thing about art is everybody's can be different and it's still great. It doesn't have to be the same as everybody else. You get to use your imagination, which is the next thing I have on here. And just let your imagination go and do what you feel inside you that you want to do. I just really want to paint my sky purple today. You can do it because art, you're free. It's a free thing that you can do what you want, and you can express yourself with art. That's why I love art, because it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Like some other subjects, you have to have things exactly right, like in math. But in art, you can do it how you want to do it, and it's still beautiful. Everything is creative and beautiful. So use your imagination, think about it. Don't worry about it being like your friend that's sitting across the room. You don't want it to look exactly like theirs. Do your own thing. Do it how you want to do it. Do your assigned job Like, just make sure you clean up when it's cleanup time, though. You're not at tables or anything now, so it'll just be at your own desk where you'll clean up and make sure that you have everything put away and keep your area clean and tidy. Like if you're cutting or anything like that, we always have to pick up scraps. It's really important to leave the classroom clean and tidy, just like we found it. Like when I come in and when I leave, that classroom should be clean. So those are all the rules and expectations. Follow the rules and be on our best behavior, being safe, respectful, and responsible. There are some fun things that you can be rewarded with. So one of the things I like to do, and I've done this before, so a lot of you know about this, is I have this little container, and on these sticks there's numbers, like your classroom numbers. So I'll pull a number out at the end of art time, or maybe sometimes even during art I do this. And I say number 18, and if you're number 18 and you've been working super hard in art and you've been on your best behavior, I'm gonna let you pick a prize. Mostly I'll just have things like cool pencils or maybe some cute erasers, and you can pick a little prize. I'll have it in a little box that you can pick out of. You might have to tell me, like, we'll have to figure that out, how we're gonna do that. But anyway, there's prizes you can have. And the other thing is, I have these little purple notes for your teacher. And I'll write down like the kids that have been superstars in art, that have been on working their very hardest. And then if you need a little extra help in art, like you maybe were having a bad day, I could write your name over there and say, this person was having a bad day today, but this person was really having a great day. And then your teacher will see I'll leave your teacher a note when I leave so that they can see how you were in art, and I'll say, your class was awesome. And if pretty much the whole class was like super awesome that day, I had no problems whatsoever with behavior, I'll give you guys the art trophy, Art Stars trophy. And your class gets to keep this trophy in their classroom for a whole week until I come back and see you guys the next week for art. Then I'll take it again and I'll give it to another class. So we gotta, we can't keep it the whole year. We gotta share it with other classes. But you guys get to keep the Art Stars trophy if your class has been super good that day. And then also on my phone, I have this app called Dojo, and I bet your teachers have been talking to you about this. And I have access to your class on here, so I can give you individual points. I get to give you points if you get your name on this good list, or I just think, wow, Johnny was so good today, I'm gonna give him a Dojo point. So I can do that too. I get to give Dojo points, just like your homeroom teacher does. And then if you're having a hard day and you just can't seem to get into art today, and you maybe need a little break, I have my little timers here, and sometimes when kids need a break, I'll just have them go sit in a different spot. And I think you have a place in your classroom where you can go take a break, and you can like sit there quietly until this timer runs out. Sometimes I might use these timers for other things too. Like I might say, I want the whole class to think about their favorite sport the whole time this timer's going. Like it'd just be quiet. Like sometimes I use it as a quiet timer too. So I have these little timers that I use. So those are the things that we can do for rewards. And the other thing I want to talk to you about was your supplies. The supplies for art this year, you're going to have your own supplies in your classroom. Your basic supplies like crayons, pencils, eraser, scissors. You'll just keep your own at your desk because we can't share a lot of things because we want to share germs too. So you're going to have your own supplies. So when I come to art, I'll just be bringing like the paper and whatever we're going to be using for the project. But as far as like what you're going to color your project with and how you're going to make your project, glue sticks and all that, you'll have your own, so we don't have to share those. We're trying not to share as many items this year, because in the past in art we'd share a lot of stuff, but we don't want to share germs, so we can't share the art supplies. So you got to have your own art supplies. There might be times when I'll bring something special to your classroom, like oil pastels, and after your class uses them, I'll have to take them back into my classroom and clean them up and make sure there's no germs on them. But for the most part, you'll have your own supplies with you. Here's our friend Mona Lisa. We all remember her from last year and other years. I just want to tell you a couple of my favorite art sayings. This one says, art is not what you see, but what you make others see. And this says, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So if you have a gift that you really love art and you're good at art, then that means you should share your art with others. Any kind of gift that you have, that means like what you're really good at, your talents and skills, you should share with others, because that really makes you feel happy and brings happiness to yourself and to others. This one says, the desire to create is one of the deepest yearnings of the human soul. Like everyone is deep down inside, I hope everyone likes to create things. Then I have one over that says, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. And this is one of my very favorites. The earth without art is just Because see, if you take off the E and the H, the middle of the word earth is art. Isn't that awesome? Whatever you decide to do, make sure it makes you happy. So those are some of my favorite sayings. And I just wanted to show you some of my art. Up there, this is the art project we've done before. The warm and cool colors. So that wolf face, one side is the cool colors. I want you to think, which color makes you feel cool? Which side of that wolf makes you feel hot? Like the cold colors and the hot colors. I bet you can figure it out without me telling you. I'm not even gonna tell you, I'm gonna leave it a mystery. And then these are just some of my art, because I know some of you guys are interested in the art that I do. So this is one I did a few years ago about all about me. So these are my 3 boys. I love them. I love movies and popcorn, which I haven't been able to have this summer. Go to movies. I love art. I like making jewelry. That's one of the things I like to do. And then these are some of the foods I like, especially chocolate. Chocolate, chocolate, and more chocolate. And then this is a picture I did where the face on this picture is taken from a real picture, and then I drew all the rest of that picture. So that's kind of a fun one. There's just some of my art projects, and that top one up there that entire picture is made from torn paper. I took painted paper and I tore it into pieces and glued it down to make that picture. It's called a mosaic or a collage, and I love doing those. And there's just some of the art that I've done. We can slowly look around. I'm sorry this room is messy because somebody moved in here and moved all their stuff in here besides me. So there's a famous painting. This is one that I did of Starry, Starry Night. Vincent van Gogh. God, that's one of his famous artworks. And then just some other things I've done. That wolf and that eagle were fun to do because half of the wolf is a real picture. The other half is the light colored side is the side that I drew with pencil. Same with the eagle. The dark side's a real picture. The light side's my drawing with pencil. Then this is one I did for an art class I took. And I took a real picture of the forest. Then I erased some of the trees and I added forks and spoons and beads and everything in the picture. I did that for an art class. And there's just some other things I've done for art classes that I've taken. Because I still take art classes too. I'm still learning about art. So yeah, these are just some I've done for art classes. This is a picture of my house that I drew. This summer I took an art class too, an online art class, and it was about design and color. And I made some really cool art projects, and I want to share some of those ideas that I learned with you. So that's just some of my art that I've done. Hope you guys enjoyed it.